Thanks for joining us for Arc Salt Lake. I'm Heidi Hatch on this Tuesday, September 9th. Tonight, we're taking an in-depth look at the Utah students who ran into a burning home to save lives, and also check in with Deputy Mike Allred and K-9 Azula, the survivors of the Tremonton shooting that killed Sergeant Lee Sorensen and Officer Eric Estrada. Before we do that, we want to check in on weather tonight. A few storms are popping up. Meteorologist Chase Thomas in here with a check. Hey, Chase.
Hey, how's it going, Heidi? Yeah, we're watching just a couple hit or miss storms out there. Right now, our rain chances aren't very high for the Wasatch Front, but if you're in northeastern Utah, we could see a stray shower or thunderstorm through this evening, mainly confined to the mountains just north and west of Price, so Highway 6. A little bit of rain, also a couple showers for our friends in southwestern Wyoming. If you are in the Salt Lake area, we're seeing mostly sunny to partly cloudy skies. Temperatures are comfortable. We are in the low to mid 80s up and down the Wasatch Front. Give it another hour or so, we'll be cooling off into the 70s under partly cloudy skies. No rain really in the forecast, at least for us. By tomorrow morning, though, waking up to those temperatures into the 60s, which is still really nice out there. Now, you probably noticed a little bit more wind today. Those winds have been out of the south to southwest, about 10 to 20 miles per hour. Once that sun goes down, we lose some of that instability and the winds will relax just a bit. So lighter winds overnight and into tomorrow morning. But here we go, ramping up again out of the southwest, around 20 to 30 miles per hour across western Utah. We could see gusts closer to 40 miles per hour, likely peaking in the afternoon and evening. And of course, with this southwest wind, it's going to be hot, it's going to be dry, and fire danger is increasing. So coming up, I'll show you where we have those red flag warnings, and eventually a big old storm is going to be moving in. That's going to bring in a little taste of fall. I'll let you know when temperatures could drop about 10 to 15 degrees coming up in just a few more minutes.
Just a few weeks ago in August, students from Copper Hills High School risked their own lives by running into a burning home, hoping to save others. Now, Copper Hills High School is recognizing those teens for their heroic actions. According to the West Jordan Fire Department, this fire destroyed 2 homes, a travel trailer, cars. It damaged a 3rd home as well. A group of teens living just a few homes down didn't hesitate to jump into action. Seeing there was a truck in the driveway of one of the homes on fire, they feared someone was stuck inside. When no one answered their door, they started pounding, then kicked it in. This is the Gonzalez family. They owned the home those boys entered where it was on fire. This family is one of the 2 families who lost everything that day, including their cars. Thankfully, though, the Gonzalez were not home at the time of the fire, but their beloved dogs were stuck inside. We spoke to Zara Gonzalez today about telling us exactly what happened that day. Listen in.
Nobody was home at the moment when the fire started. It was only our 2 dogs inside the home. It was very stressful trying to get home through the whole crowd, everyone, firefighters on site, and just trying to figure out who had our dogs, seeing the home being in flames. But it was such a relieving feeling knowing that the boys were there, first ones in there who broke down the door, and the ones that entered and saved the dogs, and knowing that they were in safe hands. Yes, it was such a relieving feeling, and we are eternally grateful to them. No, it honestly feels so special, and again, we're so thankful for them. We know that they were so brave and had so much courage to be the ones that entered the home, the very first ones that entered the home. We know that they deserve this recognition 100%. They are, again, our family wouldn't be whole without them.
Parents, teachers, and students joined West Jordan firefighters and Mayor Dirk Burton to surprise the 3 young men at school today. District Safety Specialist and former Army Ranger Matt Alvarez presented the 3 young men with a traditional Honor of Excellence presentation for going above and beyond, each of them receiving a special coin honoring their life-saving efforts, in addition to other small gifts in recognition of being exemplary citizens. Chief Derek Mayfield of the West Jordan Fire Department says their courage is a good representation of the city.
Yeah, well, I think it's great anytime we have involvement with the community. It's a great thing. Obviously, we want to make sure that people are safe and doing things safely, but as we look back on this case, it was really a courageous moment that those boys stepped in and were able to rescue those dogs. We talk in the fire service about risking a little to save a little and risking a lot to save a lot. The fact that they saw those dogs and they knew the dogs were in danger was enough to say, hey, we need to go in and intervene. It's a comfort to know that we have the support of the community. Oftentimes when we respond on calls, when we get there, there are other people there helping in whatever ways they can. They may not have the tools and the training that we have, but more often than not, there are people that are there trying to assist. And that's a great comfort. I think it says a lot about our community.
The three seniors, Cameron Inselberger, Carter Jacobson, and Gabrielle Hernandez, were surprised to find the group waiting for them at school today. They say they are best friends who've done everything together for the last 6 years, and that day was no different.
I think it was just more of the fact of, like, we got down there and no one knew who was in the house, and we went up to like make sure no one was in there, and we saw a couple dogs, and the whole side of the house was on fire at that point, so we knew we had to do something. When he grabbed the bigger dog, I tried to grab him, and I think he was pretty light. When he handed him off to me, he was peeing, so I said, try to hand him back to him, and neither of us got him, so he ran away, but yeah, he wasn't too bad.
We did end up finding him, though. Yeah, a couple up the street found him, and then we went and got him water for both the dogs. And I think we gave them leashes, too, for the time being.
The fur babies were nervous but happy to be rescued. Many have asked the young men how they can give back to them for their selfless act. Their only request is that any support be directed to the families affected by the fire. The Gonzalez family is grateful to have insurance in the Utah chapter of the Red Cross, but there are countless necessities and personal items that are not covered. You can help the Gonzalez family through this GoFundMe you see right here on your screen. Today, Box Elder Deputy Mike Allred gave an update on his and K9 Azula's recovery after they were shot in Tremonton. Deputy Allred thanked the medical vet staff who saved Azula's life and says, while he is recovering physically, emotionally, it's a lot longer road.
Responding to a domestic violence call, Deputy Allred and Azula were both wounded.
I didn't know that she was injured until after I'd been at the hospital for a little bit, and they let me know. And I'm glad that she was able to get the help that she needed.
That help came from the Intermountain Health Flight and Ambulance Service and MedVet Salt Lake City as a part of a new program with transportation and care for public safety animals. Azula was the first to use that program. Katie Dawson was one of the medical professionals who helped Azula. She says that night she and her team prepared for the worst case scenario.
So I knew that she had wounds over her chest. I didn't know how deep and what was involved.
Dawson says when Azula landed,
I got a little insurance when she jumped out of the helicopter and was able to walk in.
Today,
well, I'll get through this. It's just going to take some time.
Deputy Aldred says K9 Azula had her first training yesterday and she passed all her tests. Reporting in Salt Lake City, Leslie Duarte, KUTV 2 News.
Yes, of Sergeant Lee Sorensen and Officer Eric Estrada, a topic we've covered extensively. We took their funeral services live over the air. If you'd like to go back and watch the coverage, you can find them on our KUTV YouTube page. Coming up here on Arc Salt Lake, nearly 3 months after a deadly shooting in a Salt Lake City crowd, no one has been charged for the death. Next, 2 News investigates what could be causing a delay in prosecution. It's been 3 months since a man was shot and killed at a protest in downtown Salt Lake City. Police made an arrest, but that person was later released. They know who pulled the trigger at this No Kings rally, but no charges have been filed or other arrests made. Tonight, 2 News investigates. Ariel Harrison walks us through the case and why experts say it could be taking so long.
Move further.
Video footage shows the aftermath in downtown Salt Lake when a man was shot dead in a crowd the evening of June 14th. The deceased 40-year-old father and husband, Afa Alu. Nearly 3 months later, still no charges in the case and no one behind bars.
That seems unusual. We know who died, we know who fired the deadly shot.
This case is fascinating because there's so much that's well known, but there's also so much that is unknown. One thing that is unknown that the DA office appropriately is looking into is the reasonableness of this action, or the lack of reasonableness in this action.
Nathan Evershed is a criminal defense attorney and former prosecutor with no affiliation to this case. He says even though from the public's perspective it might seem the case isn't moving forward, it more than likely is.
There's many prosecutors that are there looking at this case and trying to understand the multiple layers of this. And a huge one is going to be the issue of self-defense and what was reasonable, what was known at the time, and what additional investigation needs to occur.
After the shooting, police arrested 24-year-old Arturo Gamboa. He was carrying an unloaded rifle at the protest.
Because at the beginning, when he was arrested and the charges being referred were for murder.
Correct.
That was really difficult for people to understand. It was
Correct.
Confusing for
Correct.
people.
Especially when people saw the video, because his gun was pointed down when the gunshots were going off.
The man who pulled the trigger was part of the peacekeeper group brought on by the organizers of the protest. He told police he thought Arturo was preparing to carry out a mass shooting. An aspect of the case former Deputy Chief of Police Chris Bertram says investigators are also likely weighing.
I think that district attorneys and county attorneys show some deference as to whether they're going to charge a police officer that may believe that they're acting in good faith, but an innocent person is unfortunately shot. I think that we see in those cases charges may not be filed. On the other side of that, when civilians do that, they don't act in their defense, but they act in the defense of a third party, and something tragic happens. I've seen county attorneys, and especially our district attorney here in Salt Lake County, hold a different standard, and they do.
Both men say prosecutors now face the difficult legal question. Was the deadly force reasonable, or was it reckless?
Because this case is so complex, could we get to the end of it and no one face charges and no one be held accountable for the death?
From a criminal standpoint, absolutely that could be the possibility, is that if the district attorney does not believe that they have enough evidence to move forward and be successful at trial, nobody may be charged.
Do you think there will be a criminal case?
If there were a criminal homicide case, it would be against the peacekeeper, if there were to be one. It's possible against Mr. Gamboa, based off of his release, and it's more unlikely than not.
Ariel Harrison, KUTV 2 News.
Family and friends say that Afa Alu was a proud Samoan with many life skills, including sewing. He proudly became the first Samoan fashion designer to appear on the television show Project Runway. Afa survived by his wife Laura and their 2 children. He was laid to rest June 28th of this year. And in Hawaii tonight, in Honolulu, the Hurricane Kiko is weakening rapidly. It's been downgraded to a tropical storm that will pass to the north of the Hawaiian Islands. A high surf warning is in effect today. These swells and rip currents should pass through the North Shore and trigger some thunderstorms. Once a major Category 4 hurricane just a few days ago, Kiko is now waves. More experienced surfers are out enjoying those right now. Well, summer is quickly fading here in Utah. Meteorologist Chase Thomason here with that first alert forecast.
Yeah, we're hanging on to summer for maybe one more day, and then we have some cooler temperatures and a little taste of fall by the end of the week. Unfortunately, though, with summer, right, we have fire season here in Utah, and fire season continues tomorrow. Red flag warnings are out for the Wasatch Front and western Utah. We expect hot and windy conditions. Those wind speeds will be really increasing in the afternoon, around 20 to 30 miles per hour, but we could even see some gusts up to 40 miles per hour. And with the low humidity, we'll have that really high fire danger. So please be extra careful for tomorrow. And we might even hit 90 degrees in Salt Lake. We were very close today, making it to 89, which is about 5 degrees above normal. Record on this date is 97 back in 2021. Rain chances, though, they're increasing as the storm begins to move in. Not very high. Wouldn't cancel any outdoor plans, but we'll be dodging a few showers and thunderstorms Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Maybe Friday or Saturday. We'll see how this storm takes place here in Utah. Could be our best chance for rain. It's kind of coming out in two parts. We've got a cold front and we have an area of low pressure. Cold front will be moving in first. Behind it, the area of low pressure both provide that lift that we need for showers and thunderstorms. Overall, it's not a major storm system, but it will bring in that cooler air. So we'll go from the 90s to the 70s later this week. We are tracking a few isolated thunderstorms across northeastern Utah, and that will likely continue into tonight. This is 10 o'clock, so over the Uintas, southwestern Wyoming, can't rule out a shower or a stray thunderstorm. Most of the state, though, will stay dry, especially tomorrow morning. By the afternoon, even with these gusty southwest winds, we have a little bit of moisture out in eastern Utah, so a pop-up thunderstorm is possible, mainly over the high country. Temperatures tomorrow, lots of 80s and 90s across western Utah and southern Utah. You can see Richfield at 83, 81 in Cedar City, Price here at 81 degrees, Park City and Evanston getting close to 80. And then that cooler air begins to move in as we track this cold front. Right now, it looks like the latest timing on that front will be sometime late Thursday. Again, a few showers and storms are possible on Thursday. The best chance will be over the mountains of northern Utah. But as the main part of the storm moves in, we'll see a few showers and storms on Friday. And then again on Saturday, counterclockwise rotation around a low, so it brings in that cooler air mass. And typically, we do a little bit better with a northwest flow here along the Wasatch Front. And that's a little bit of snow possible across the high Uintas Friday and into Saturday. Not going to get a whole lot, and this is pretty common this time of year. Those snow levels will likely be above 10,000 feet, but the peaks of the Uintas could see a dusting to an inch or two Friday and on Saturday. And it will not be snow, though, here in the valleys. If we get anything, it'll be a little bit of rain. St. George, 93 degrees. It will be windy. No rain for southern Utah. Not as gusty on Thursday. Temperatures, though, dropping into the 80s. Nice. Overnight lows in the low 60s as we head into the weekend. And then it stays sunny and dry next week with temperatures hovering in the 90s. Salt Lake, 67 for tonight. We're at 90 for tomorrow. Will be a windy day, and then we'll start to see those isolated showers and thunderstorms Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Friday and Saturday are coolest days as we dip into the 70s, but I'm going to really like those overnight lows this weekend, Heidi, as we go into the 50s. And then for next week, it does look pretty quiet. There might be some isolated showers, but right now those temperatures not too hot, not too cool. It's a nice transition into fall if we can stay in the 70s and low 80s and not these big ups and bigs downs.
That's the kind of fall I like. If we can keep it in those 70s and 80s, we fall off that cliff pretty quickly, though, so hopefully we can stick around. Friday, though, I know we're covering a couple football games, so it could be soggy for those games.
It could be, but again, it's not going to be widespread rain. It's going to be those hit or miss showers and thunderstorms. So there could be one football game that sees a little bit of rain and the other stays completely dry. So that's kind of what we're seeing with this storm. It's not a big storm, but those temperatures kind of cooling off nicely. And speaking of the cooler weather, I was just up in the mountains yesterday. Those fall colors are already starting to change. It's a little early. It's a little patchy. It's not that vibrant, but over the next couple weeks, we'll see more of those colors. Likely late September and early October is when we peak, so those family photos and those fall drives.
And I think the vibrancy might be missing this year. I was up at Utah State a couple weeks ago, and it seemed like a lot of the leaves were just kind of choking, croaking, and dying and falling off.
It's been so dry, right? So they've been stressed out, so they're turning a little bit earlier, and that's probably why they won't be as vibrant. But if we get a little rain, it'd be nice to get that soil nice and saturated.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll be paying close attention to that in the next couple days, so be careful with that fire danger and the winds. Hey, coming up, a cookie classic gets the boot and a new flavor steps up. Coming up on Arc Salt Lake, what the Girl Scouts are baking up. Taking a look at what's trending tonight. When Girl Scout cookie sales start in January, there'll be a new cookie in the lineup. The organization announcing the addition of a Rocky Road inspired cookie. It's called Explore More's. The new chocolate cookie has a creamy filling with notes of chocolate, marshmallow, and toasted almond flavor. Earlier this year, the Girl Scouts revamped their cookie lineup, announcing the discontinuation of the s'mores and Toast Yay cookies after several years on sale. Apple just unveiled its next generation of iPhone. You can get an iPhone 17 starting September 19th. Apple says it is the thinnest model ever made, and it comes with new AI capabilities, enhanced cameras as well, and all-day battery life. This phone is made from 80% recycled titanium and will come in 4 colors. Prices will start at $800. And finally tonight, happy 101st birthday to the President, Russell M. Nelson of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. The church says President Nelson celebrated his birthday early today with a small gathering of his family members at the church administration building in downtown Salt Lake City. He is the oldest living leader of the global faith at 101 years old, a pretty remarkable achievement. Well, thanks so much for watching ARC Salt Lake tonight. We're keeping tabs on the news tonight. The very latest coming your way at 9 o'clock with 2 News at 9 and over on KUTV at 10 o'clock. Have a great night.